Okay, going over squat variations today. I have a couple variations that we're gonna go over, so we'll get started. All right, so first, just the regular squat. Your feet are about hip width apart or slightly wider. Toes might be turned out, they might be in, just kind of depending on your hips. And we squat down like this, keeping that chest nice and tall from the side, sitting those hips back. That's just the standard squat. So from there we have variations that we can do. So first variation is a narrow squat. So a narrow squat, we keep everything nice and tight, feet are pretty close together and legs are pretty close together. And we are pushing those hips back. Again, we want to make sure that the knees are not going out or in on this. We want to keep everything nice and in line, keeping that chest nice and tall, and just sitting those hips back. I'll do two from the side here. So from the side, it looks just like a standard squat. From the front, however, we're keeping everything nice and tight. So this is a narrow squat versus the standard squat where our base is wider. Again, you can do those on a chair if you need to until you build up some trust and strength. Feel free to use a chair. All right, our next one, we're gonna do a sumo squat. So sumo squat, we take the feet out nice and wide. Toes are about 10 and 2, like a clock. Keeping that chest nice and tall, we wanna pretend like our back is right up against a wall and we're just dropping straight down, keeping those knees right in line with the toes. Again, if the knees go out, extend further than the toes, that is okay. You want to just make sure that they're staying in line. You don't want the knees coming in. You don't want them going too far out. You want to keep everything nice and in line. So this one requires a little bit of pushing outward with the knees for most people. Once you build up that strength, then it becomes easier. This works the inner thigh muscles a lot. So from the side, sumo squat. See, we're keeping everything in line. I'll make sure my knees aren't coming in or going too far backwards. So just dropping straight down, keeping that chest nice and tall. So that's a sumo squat. From there, you can bring it in tighter for a plie squat. So plie is done in first position. It's a ballet term. So first position is heels together and feet turned out. Now, most of us are not ballerinas, so you can have some distance between the heels. Don't want to be standing here uncomfortable, but you can tighten this one up too. So some space, a little bit of space between the heels. Again, feet turned out as much as is possibly comfortable and as much as you can keep your balance. And then we just drop straight down. Now the knees are going to go out over the toes on this one because we're tight and our knees have to bend. It is okay for the knees to go out past the toes. Just make sure again that they're staying in line. You don't want the knees coming in or out too far. Make sure the knees are in line with the toes. So this is a plie squat, staying up nice and tall. So it's very similar to a sumo squat, just bringing it in tighter. So plie from the side, plie squat. All right, from there we can start to move it into a little bit of single leg by going into a split squat. So with a split squat, you want to start with your feet under your hips. Then you're going to take one leg and step it straight back. Now, we're not doing these on a balance beam, so we don't want to bring the leg behind, the other foot behind. We want some space there so we have some balance. Most of our weight is going to be on our front foot. The back foot is there for some stability. Again, keeping that chest up nice and tall, we're just dropping straight down, coming back up. Straight down, coming back up. This is different from a lunge because a lunge, we're actually moving that leg back and forth. So this is a lunge, backward, and then there's also a forward lunge where you're stepping forward. So split squat, we're just splitting the legs and squatting down. So working one leg at a time in the squat position. So again, make sure that we're not on a balance beam with our feet. And then from the side, we're just dropping straight down. You want to get the knee behind you down as low as you can. You want to try to get this to 90 degrees, so wherever that is for that back knee. It will take some time to build that up, so be patient with yourself. And our next one is a single leg squat. I highly recommend practicing this with a chair or some sort of support to sit on first. These can be pretty intense. So be sure you grab some support for yourself. All right, so a single leg squat. So there's a few different ways you can do them. Version 1 is to stick one heel down, toe up. Majority of your weight is on your back leg. The leg that is forward is just there for stability. We squat down to the chair and then we push through the back heel to raise ourselves up. So this leg is doing all the work. This leg is simply here for stability. If you want to take it up a notch, you're going to raise that leg up and do them like that. So that's how we do a single leg squat. Now again, we want to be mindful of our knees and our positioning. So with these, we want to make sure that we have enough strength that our knees are not going to be moving. We don't want them going out or in. Keep them in line with those toes. So this is from the front what it looks like. So you can practice those. Once you build up a lot of strength, then you can start to take that chair away and do them without a chair. So that's variations of squats that we can practice. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and like and subscribe to this so you can keep seeing my videos. My next videos will be breaking down lunges. So we're going from squats into lunges. I briefly showed you those today, but we'll go over more details about those in the next video. Thanks for joining me.